Well, welcome to the first session of CS201, Introduction to Christian Spirituality. And today, or actually in this session, let me get my display up here, going to take a look at reading the Bible. And why wait until now to cover reading the Bible? Because that's a lot of times what people want to do. We just want to jump right in. Well, I did that partly because in order to read well, we need to make sure we have the right tools at our disposal. Two important tools are understanding the structure of the Bible and finding a translation we can use, or finding a translation we can understand. Covered that in CS 101. Now, understanding the structure of the Bible not only helps us to know how to find passages in the Bible, which we covered, it also gives us a sense of where we can start reading. Having a good translation goes a long way in our desire to understand what we are reading and even enjoy reading the Bible. Instead of getting bogged down by words we don't understand or language we struggle through, we are able to read with understanding. So people come to me and they're wanting to read the Bible and they ask a question. It's a good question. Where should I start? Well, some people like to start at the beginning, and that is an option. I don't recommend it. I find that most people want to read the Bible so they can learn more about Jesus, how to live a life that is honoring to Him and to God. And you could easily spend most of your year reading through the Old Testament before you ever reach the Gospels, which actually cover Jesus' life. In fact, a lot of folks that start in the beginning get bogged down in a book called Leviticus because it has a lot of laws in it. And so, they get to that point and they're like, oh my goodness, I don't understand this, and they just give up. Well, I suggest folks start with one of the Gospels. I think Mark is a great choice. Mark is not the first Gospel, Matthew is, but Mark is one of the shortest Gospels. Mark's writing style is also action-oriented as well, and so it kind of helps you get through the reading. Now, once you read through Mark, you can read Gospels such as John. Then you can move on to the book of Acts, which recounts the time after Jesus' death and resurrection, and at that point, you are on your way. The Psalms are a good choice for devotional reading, and the book of Proverbs offers wisdom and guidance. Since there are 31 chapters in Proverbs, some people read a chapter of Proverbs a day. That is a great practice. Over the course of a month, they have read through the book of Proverbs, then they start again. I think that's fantastic. Now, you might wonder, well, how much should I read? Well, you read what you can. Don't get caught up in how much you're reading or not reading. I have something I want to show you. I'm a little hesitant to show you this. Some folks like to read through the Bible in a year. Well, I have right here the Bible in 90 days. Yes, 90 days. If you look, you can tell it has not actually been read all the way through. I saw this book and I thought, oh man, that'd be so cool. I wouldn't even have to wait a year. I could read it in 90 days. And it never actually happened. I read through some of it, but I didn't make it through the full 90 days. Now, it is good to read through the Bible at some point, maybe not when you're first starting to read the Bible. But I would, the reason why it's important to at least read through the Bible at some point is you get the overarching story. The Bible is an overarching story. The first actually interacts with the last with the middle. And so you kind of get a sense of where the story is going. But when you're starting, I would suggest Mark. Now, the important thing is really not how much you're reading, though. The important thing right now is that you're carving time out of your day to read Scripture. In a future session, I plan to cover more of a structured reading plan, but for now, just make the time. If you can take 5 minutes, that's 5 minutes more than you have ever read before. If you can read 10 minutes, even better. But carve that time out every day and spend that time with God in prayer and in Scripture. And over over the course of a month, over the course of a year, you will look back and say, oh my goodness, I'm so glad that I took time out to do this. Well, I do want to end with taking a look at our toolbox. Now, I'm not much of a gamer, but when I did play games, there was usually an inventory. The inventory contained items the character had collected over the course of the game. These items could be used to fulfill various tasks and challenges in the future. So if you went through CS 101, what's our inventory? Well, we can now find anything in the Bible because we know the structure. That's the second tool, and we have a translation we can understand and enjoy reading. And now we're making time each day to read. So our inventory is finding anything in the Bible, knowing the structure, knowing our translation, having a translation we understand and enjoy, and making time to read every day. Maybe you didn't realize how far you have come. So take some time, celebrate, be thankful for God and His Word, and I pray that you would really, really just sense God's blessing as you spend time with Him and His Word and prayer. Well, blessings.